Today, we will be talking about factoring to solve limits. Sometimes we might hit a roadblock whenever we're solving limits and get an answer as 0 over 0 or infinity over infinity. That means there might be an answer, but we're doing it the wrong way. That's why there is something called factorizing. Factorizing means eliminating something from the numerator and denominator, hoping that you might get an answer. So let's take, let's take an example, question A. We have limit as x tends to 4 of x minus 4 over x squared minus 16. If we directly replace, we'll have 4 minus 4 over 4 squared minus 16, which is 4 minus 4 over 16 minus 16, which is equal to 0 over 0. It does not mean the answer is 0 over 0. It means that we need to do something else. So let's try factorizing. Factorizing, we'll have limit as x tends to 4 of, in the numerator here we cannot change anything since we have x to the power of 1, so we cannot factorize anything. We'll have x minus 4. And now in the denominator we have x squared minus 16, which is a perfect root in the form of a squared minus b squared, which means by factorizing it we'll get a minus b, a plus b. So here we'll have x minus 4, x plus 4, because 4 squared is 16, and that's what we have here. Now we look, can we cancel anything from the numerator and denominator together? Yes, we have the x minus 4. So we can cancel the x minus 4 together, and we'll be left with limit as x tends to 4 of 1 over x plus 4. And now since we cannot cancel anything else anymore, we just replace our x. We'll have 1 over 4 plus 4, which will give us 1 over 8 as our final answer. You see, at the beginning we had 0 over 0, and now we find a real answer, which is 1 over 8. Let's do another question. Limit as x tends to 3 of x squared minus 8x plus 15 over x squared minus 9. Same thing. Let's first try to replace. We'll have 3 squared minus 8 into 3 plus 15 over 3 squared minus 9, which will give us 9 minus 24 plus 15 over 9 minus 9, which is 0 over 0, which means if we factorize, we might get an answer. So factorizing, we write limit as x tends to 3 of. Let's start by the denominator because it's easier. We have x squared minus 9, which is in the form of a squared minus b squared, which will result in a minus b, a plus b. A squared is x squared, so a will be x. B squared is 9, so b is 3. So we'll have the denominator x minus 3, x plus 3. Now in the numerator, you can either do it mod 5-3 or you can do it by hand, where we'll have 2 x's because we have a polynomial of degree 2, and since we have a plus 15, it means their multiplication is positive, and since we have a negative here, it means both numbers are negative. We have x minus a number and x minus a number. Now we'll need to think, what two numbers multiplied by each other gives us 15? They are 3 and 5. And if we add them, we'll have an 8, which is exactly what we have here. So in the numerator, we'll have x minus 3 and x minus 5. Now we'll try eliminating and see if we can cancel anything out. We can look, we have x minus 3 at the top and x minus 3 at the bottom, where we can eliminate them. Then we'll be left with x minus 5 over x plus 3. Since there is nothing to eliminate anymore, we can directly replace. But we'll have 3 minus 5 over 3 plus 3, which will give us negative 2 over 6. Simplifying it more, we can simplify a 2, which will be left with negative 1 over 3. This will be our final answer. Now, doing that one, same thing. If you replace, you'll have 25 minus 7 into 5 plus 10 over 25 minus 6 into 5 plus 5, which will result in a 0 over 0. It means we need to factorize. So limit as x tends to 5. We'll have x minus, x minus, x minus, x minus. Looking at the denominator, we have a plus 5, which means the product of the two numbers is positive, but their addition is negative, which means both numbers are negative. Now we'll need to think about it. What two numbers, adding them up, will give us a negative 6, but multiplying them will give us a 5? And the answer is negative 1 and negative 5. Negative 1 added with negative 5 will give us negative 6. Negative 1 multiplied by negative 5 will give us 5, which is exactly what we have in the denominator. Now for the numerator, we have a plus 10, which means their multiplication will give us a positive number, but their addition will give us a negative number. What two numbers might give us a 10 whenever we multiply them? We have 5 and 2. And indeed, whenever we add negative 5 and negative 2, we get a negative 7. And whenever we multiply negative 5 by negative 2, we get a 10, which means our two values are 5 and 2. Now, we can check if we can eliminate anything from the numerator and the denominator. And of course we can. We can remove the x minus 5 and x minus 5 together, where we will be left with limit as x tends to 5 of x minus 2 over x minus 1. Since we cannot eliminate anything anymore, we just replace x's. We'll have 5 minus 2 over 5 minus 1, giving us 3 over 4 as our final answer. Now, for the last one, if we replace directly, we'll have a cubed minus 64 into 8 over a squared minus 6 into 8 minus 16, which will result in a 0 over 0. Of course, we can factorize. Now, to factorize, let's look at the numerator first. We have x cubed minus 64x. At first glance, we can take x as a common factor and we'll be left with x squared minus 64. And let's keep the bottom the same for a bit. Now, we have between parentheses at the top x squared minus 64, which is perfect square, a squared minus b squared, which will result in a minus b into a plus b. B squared being 64, it means our b is 8. So we have in the numerator x into x minus 8 into x plus 8. Now in the denominator, we have x squared minus 6x minus 16. As we can see, their multiplication is negative, which means we have x minus a number and x plus a number. But their addition is negative, which means the negative number is bigger than the positive number. Now let's think about it. What two numbers multiplied will give us negative 16? We can either have negative 8 multiplied by 2 or negative 2 multiplied by 8, or we could have negative 4 multiplied by 4. Now, we can look at it. Is the addition of negative 8 and 2 equal to negative 6? Yes, indeed. Negative 8 plus 2 is negative 6. So this is our answer. But look, if we add negative 2 and 8, we'll have a 6, which is not our answer. And if we add negative 4 and 4, it's 0, which is also not our answer. So our correct answer is negative 8 and 2. So we'll have x minus 8 and x plus 2. Now we check if we can cancel anything out, and yes, indeed, we can cancel out the x minus 8s. So we'll be left with limit as x tends to 8 of x into x plus 8 over x plus 2. Since we cannot simplify anything, we just replace. We'll have 8 into 8 plus 8 over 8 plus 2, which will give us 8 into 16 over 10, which will give us 128 over 10 as our final answer.